Hi everyone, it's Kathy the Vegan Prepper, and welcome to a day in my life. Vegan Prepper, Vegan Prepper. First of all, guess what happened the other day? Something's missing.
My tooth.
Your tooth fell out. How did it fall out?
I just pulled it.
You just pulled it. She just pulled it. It was loose and she just... I'm still so astounded. I was always terrified of getting my teeth out when I was little. This girl, she is brave and fierce, and it doesn't seem like anything phases her. So, anyway, it's pretty awesome. You're awesome, Sage.
Huh?
Okay, I guess we'll bring you along on the rest of the day, huh? Okay, good, thank you. Getting ready to make a batch of soy milk, which I'm going to turn into tofu with my brand new tofu press. This is the first time I'm going to make tofu with a real tofu press and with nigari instead of lemon juice. My first batch of tofu didn't turn out amazing. It kind of fell apart. The curds were tiny. And I don't know if that's because my soy milk was bad or like I made the soy milk and I was not using the process I'm using now. It was, actually like a month or two ago. Curds were tiny. They didn't really hold together very well. And then I don't know if that's because I didn't have a real press to really press it together. But regardless, we're going to try again and see. Part of the experiment is to see, I'm going to make basically about a half gallon of soy milk. And so I'm going to see how much does 1 cup of soybeans made the way that I make it, how much tofu does that make? So I'm currently kind of experimenting because I need this information for, planning my food. And so for now, the very short version of the soy milk video that people are asking for is I am doing it in the Instant Pot now. I'm going to return my soy milk maker. There was nothing specifically wrong with it. It just only makes a quart at a time and I need larger batches of milk. So I have stumbled upon this method and I have tweaked it a little. And so eventually I will make my video and talk a lot about it. I will say my 6-quart Instant Pot, this is my 8-quart Instant Pot. It is an Instant Pot IPLUX. It's kind of an older model. I don't know if it's still available. My 6-quart is an Instant Pot Duo, and I get a burn warning every single time I try to make soy milk in it. I have not yet gotten a burn warning in the 8-quart. Cross your fingers. Hopefully that remains true. And so we're going to just go with it. So yeah, I'm basically going to get this blended up into a slurry, pour it into here. So there's 4 cups of water. 4 cups of water in here. So it's going to be 8 cups of water total with soaked soybeans. This was 1 cup of dry soybeans, which got soaked and now it's more than a cup, but that's what it started off with. And so cook on high pressure for 5 minutes, let it release for at least 25 minutes before you mess with it further. And I'll bring you guys back in a second. I don't remove the skins, by the way. It seems like not removing the skins is key to not having the milk separate in hotter drinks. But yeah, there we go. And now basically, so here it's so easy. 5 minutes. Yeah, this is the last thing I made in here was soy milk. So again, cross your fingers that I'm not going to get a burn warning this time. But there it goes, and it will cook all by itself without me having to babysit it or mess with it. And so that helps me out Like, I feel like the stovetop process of soy milk is so fiddly. I never seem to get it right. Something always burns, something always boils over. One of the main reasons I was interested in the soy milk maker was not only for the filter, the idea of not having to strain it after, but the fact that it would cook it all by itself in a nice enclosed little thing, and you don't have to worry about babysitting the stove. It's not a difficult process. Obviously, this is a process that people have been doing for centuries, if not millennia. In, you know, parts of Asia, they've been drinking soy milk for like forever, making it and turning it into tofu and doing that stuff. So at this point, you know, it's a safe food. It's like a time-tested safe food as far as I'm concerned. But I don't know, it's just so much easier to do it like this. I like cooking the solids of the bean in with the milk. I like that. I think the milk turns out richer. A lot of the recipes have you strain the solids before you cook the milk. But I do like this. The only kind of potential difficulty with this is because I'm going to turn it into tofu. I'm going to need to strain that before I make my tofu. And when you make the tofu, the milk needs to be hot. So I'm probably, at this point, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to film it, but I'm probably going to strain the hot milk into just like a saucepan, and then kind of go from there. And we'll see how it goes. But anyway, yeah, so I'll bring you back for sure and let you see how everything turns out. For now, there's some work to do, dishes to clean, kitchen table to clean off. Just a lot of stuff. I've got to clean my little press and the cloth that came with it. I've got to clean out my sink. Actually, I have a whole bunch of hand wash dishes, things that have just got to get done. So that's going to be my next bit of my day. Adam is out doing yard work and I'm sort of taking care of stuff inside the house. And yeah, anyway, this is what I'm doing next. I try to stay caught up on the weekends. I always fall majorly behind on weekends because there's so many other things going on. And any of you who you know how fast things can fall apart if you're not like on top of it every second of every day. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, get myself a nice clean kitchen so that later when I'm filming the tofu process, it looks like it was clean. You can pretend it was clean the whole time. We are now making hot chocolate mix, but first we're starting with some carob. I have discovered that if you just use the same proportions and use carob powder instead of chocolate or cocoa powder, it makes a lovely little hot drink for my husband. He's allergic to chocolate, so he can't have chocolate. But yeah, we're starting with the carob, and then we will finish up making a bunch more of our own hot chocolate mix. I have videos for the hot chocolate mix on the channel. I will link one down below. But yeah, Adam really loves this. I will say I don't know if using the carob powder from Azure Standard makes a difference or not. But yeah, my carob is the one from Azure Standard. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna get back to it. We have finished with the hot cocoa mix and the hot carob mix. So I do always end up adding a little extra milk.
Milk.
There you go.
Oops. I see a little spill.
Yeah, it's okay. This is the latest batch of soy milk, or maybe not the latest batch, but the one I did yesterday. So anyway, I usually write the date. I didn't do it this time. They're supposed to only last like 3 to 5 days in the fridge, but we go through it faster than that. I just want to take this moment to say literally every dish in this house, with the exception of dishes that are going to get reused at least once or twice. So that's Sage's cup, her snack bowl, and my water glass. Every single dish in this house is clean. Revel in the moment. Let's revel for a second. This has been sitting a lot longer than I originally planned. Just everything took a lot longer in stopping and being with Sage and making the mixes and all of that. So now I am getting ready to go ahead and actually make the soy milk. Oh, here, I should show you what it looks like in here. So yeah, that's what we have. And it smells very much just, you know, it's soy milk. And so I need to go ahead and strain this and then get the tofu started. I guess I can go ahead and turn this off. So because it's still going to be very hot, because it needs to be hot for making the tofu, and I'm just saying this is now I'm talking to you about stuff I've read. I've done this once before, and so we're gonna see how it goes this time. I have basically my pot set up here. I'm gonna use this little strainer I have, and I will use a kitchen towel to do the straining because I only have one hand for, filming. But even if I weren't filming, so you're definitely not going to see the soy milk getting poured in. Even if I were not filming, this is how I basically would just have to do it. Now there's no heat under this. Actually, I'm realizing I don't have to be on the stove if there's no heat. But anyway, I'm going to get the soy milk poured in here and let it start kind of straining and just gently mix to try to let it strain as much as possible while it's hot. And then theoretically, I'll be able to draw up the corners and twist a bit. But I will get my soy milk into this pan, and then we will start the coagulation process with the nigari. This is straining now, and I'll show you the Instant Pot, what it looks like after. So there's definitely that nice skin down there that typically forms from the soy milk, but it's not burned or anything, and not brown. I mean, there might be parts that have gotten maybe a little golden underneath, but there's no like real brown that would set off the burn alarm. That is a contrast to what it looked like in the 6-quart pot. It was burned. It was very brown at the base. Sorry, my kettle is talking to us. It was very brown at the base. So yeah, there does seem to be a big difference between the 8-quart and the 6-quart. I don't really know what it is. I don't know if the heating element being more spread out makes a difference. Because you have the full amount of the starchy soybean obviously concentrating in a smaller area at the base of the pan. And I don't know then if it kind of piles up too much and then it burns that way or what. Who knows? But yeah, that does seem to be what I have noticed. So I will go ahead and come over here and kind of check on this. It looks like it's already been draining pretty well. I wonder if I can pick this up. Nope. I can't really pick that up with one hand and show you guys. So basically I will sort of take a peek at this and obviously show you what it looks like. There is still a lot of straining that needs to take place. But overall, it's looking pretty good down there. Haha, just showing you the strainer. It's looking pretty good in there. And I'll just keep going and get as much out as I can and then start the tofu making process. Because it's so hot and I can't actually touch it, I'm just sort of pressing against the side and twisting, trying not to twist too hard. I don't want to break anything. But that is allowing some of the extra milk to come out. I don't know if that's showing up very well, but just sort of twisting it against the side. It's working well. I've also seen on a new channel I actually just found, I'm going to start binging her videos. And I'm sorry, I don't remember. I don't want to say the wrong thing. So I don't remember. It started with a K. But it was a Malaysian vegan cooking channel. I am ridiculously excited. I watched her tofu video. She was using a potato masher to mash the hot cloth, with the soybean curd inside, or not curd, the okara, the soybeans themselves. So she was using a potato masher. I don't necessarily want to do that because I'm not sure exactly how strong this bamboo strainer I have here is, but I will go ahead and just continue working at this. This needs to be at least 185. So I'm testing with my meat thermometer. It's not really a meat thermometer anymore, is it? It needs to be at least 180 for the coagulant to work correctly. So it looks like we do have a little ways to go. I'm going to go ahead and just gently simmer this until we get to the correct temperature. Next step is to go ahead and dissolve 1 teaspoon of nigari into a cup of warm water. So I'm just doing that. I'll go check the temperature of the soy milk and see if we are there yet. All right, and here I've got the press itself set up. Yeah, the milk is at the right temperature, so it's time to go ahead and start with the coagulant. I was reading that if you don't have a thermometer, you know that your milk's at the right temperature when it starts steaming, but it's not simmering. And that is basically exactly correct. It's just a little over 185, maybe approaching 190 at this point, but that is the temperature your soy milk is supposed to be. And it just started steaming a little bit ago. And so, yeah, that is the exact correct temperature. I'm going to pour in the nigari, but basically you do it over the back of a spatula, just to really distribute it evenly. And I don't know if I can show that process. But I can try a little maybe. Oh, Adam just showed up. My prince. Okay, it's so, oh my gosh, I can't remember if you're supposed to stir it before you add the nigari or not. Regardless, you're gonna add, at least from what I've seen, you add like 3/4 of the total. Oh gosh. And that's not quite 3/4. I've just done that very badly. Okay, point is you want it distributed. And you don't want to have to stir it too much. So basically what you do is you do a zigzag. And that apparently is it. Like now I no longer touch it. So basically I put the lid on top and I wait, according to what I've read, I wait 2 to 3 minutes. And then if I see like it hasn't started coagulating at that point, like if it's still milky, then you stir the rest of the coagulant in. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and let that sit for 2 or 3 minutes. All right, there are still milky areas on top, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour in the rest, and hopefully it's okay to just sort of do it like this. Oh my goodness. I'm not claiming at all to be an expert at this. I'm just going to sort of very gently, because you don't want to upset the coagulation, and you don't want to upset those curds. So just going to let it sit. I think at this point, I forget how long I'm supposed to let it sit at this point to finish coagulating. But I will... I'll put it on the screen. Right, this is looking really good. So basically you are looking for there to be curds without any without any milkiness in the liquid. And so now I wish I had one of those ones that was like a bit more flat. So I need to see if I can get one of those. But for now, I'm just going to try to scoop it out gently. And then, I don't know, get it scooped into the press. I don't know how much of this I'm supposed to drain. Like, gosh, like I said, this is not me showing you guys something that I know what I'm doing yet. So basically, it's just about getting the curds in, and then it's gonna get pressed. So that's what we're looking at. I'm so curious about how much tofu this is gonna make. This press is large. It apparently will make up to like 1.5 pounds of tofu at a time. Can you focus on something that's worth looking at? Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this process and just bring you back. Here are all of the curds ready to get pressed. So I will just go ahead and tuck this in as nicely and evenly as I can. And just sort of, again, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm gonna just do that, I guess. And then here is the press part that goes on the top. I'll give it a little press myself. And now, I don't know, I'll find a jar. Oh, hey, here's some hot carob mix. But like, that's not gonna be, oh, you know what, here. I'll turn it upside down. There we go, now it fits. Okay. This is what we've got. So it'll need to sit for, I don't know. Again, I've read anywhere from 15 minutes to like a few hours. So I don't have any way of really knowing at this point. So for now, I'm just gonna let it sit for, I don't know, probably an hour to try to like get in between those two extremes. And I'll show you obviously when it's finished what it looks like. I completely forgot that a couple days ago I froze up some onions. This is one of my favorite little kitchen preps to do, is to just chop up some onions and freeze them on a tray, and then put them in the freezer to use at a later time. And it just makes it so easy to just grab a handful, because it seems like so many dishes start off with sauteing onions and you just have it ready to go. It's seriously an amazing thing for me in my kitchen. But yeah, I just saw this because I was putting bowls into the freezer because lunch is going to be smoothie bowls. Very excited. But yeah, I'm gonna get this bagged up and get our smoothie bowls all started. All right, when I make my smoothie bowls, I aim for 2 bananas per person plus just 1 banana for Sage. So there's 5 bananas in here. It's just me, Adam, and Sage who are going to be consuming smoothie bowls for lunch today. My younger son is actually over at my grandmother's house doing yard work for her. So he is not going to be here for the smoothie bowls, but I probably should still make him one later because I decided to do smoothie bowls because Adam was doing so much yard work today here. And so it's just so refreshing and wonderful to have a big fresh bowl of frozen fruit, just yumminess after you do a lot of work outside and you get sweaty and all of that. So anyway, that's what we're making. I'm basically going to blend this down and then I'm going to add more greens and like a protein powder probably. And then that will be it. Our toppings will be, well, I'll show you what they look like. It's gonna be like granola, pumpkin seeds, wild blueberries, which are the small version of these, and I use them as snacks for Sage or as like toppings for smoothie bowls. And then yeah, it's just gonna be great. I might actually add a little bit of sun butter to this as well, just to get a little bit of healthy fats, because I'm just using water today to blend it up. Sometimes we'll use coconut milk. I don't feel like using coconut milk today, so I think I'm gonna use sun butter instead. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. More time for more grains, and actually just 1 more banana. I think this blended up a little bit too loose. And then 1 more frozen banana, and then like the powders and stuff. So I've added all the things, the protein powder, actually spirulina, which I completely forgot earlier, and then the banana, the sun butter, and that will finish out our smoothie bowls. This is gonna be a lot. It's gonna be amazing. Right, here they are, just simple toppings this time, just some store-bought granola and those wild blueberries. Adam wanted some pumpkin seeds on his, so he's grabbing that. But yeah, this is our lunch. We're gonna go ahead and enjoy this so much. Just as a top tip, it is really good to get your bowls in the freezer first because it's amazing how fast these begin to melt. So put it into a bowl that's cold. The other thing is just have all your toppings ready. So don't be thinking you're going to cut, artistic strawberries and bananas and stuff after this is made. Get that all done before you start because, again, it melts really quickly. But anyway, like I said, today we're just doing kind of fast pre-prepared toppings. And yeah, I want to eat. I know Adam wants to eat too, so I'm going to stop talking. All right, here's an experiment. It's the okara from the last few days of making soy milk, and hopefully it will dehydrate down and become something like a meat crumble, like a soy curl or a TVP. If not, then I can just grind it up and use it in other things. But I don't know. I'm going to try and see. Why not? And just definitely report my results. Okay, it's been a little over an hour. So I am gonna go ahead and start figuring this out. Wow, it feels very soft still. Gosh, I wonder if we pressed it enough, or if that was enough weight. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous to start unwrapping it. I'm afraid it will just fall apart. I mean, that is definitely a solid piece. Gosh, okay. Apparently it needs to get into some cold water, but I do want to weigh it. I want to see how much tofu I got out of that. So I will go ahead and get that started right now. It's a little under, just barely under 12 ounces of tofu. So that is definitely something to know. 1 cup of dry soybeans makes about 12 ounces of tofu. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get this into some cold water and get it into the fridge. All right, so for my cold water, I like to just do in my, I guess what is this, a cocktail shaker? I don't know, it's something I guess people do for mixed drinks. That's not why we use it. Not that there's anything wrong with having a nice little drink every now and then, but mainly when I use this, I'm using it for something like this where I need cold water or cold liquid, but I don't want the ice in there. So I'm using ice to make it cold, but I don't want the ice. And so I'm going to go ahead and just use this for this purpose here. It looks like I need a refill to finish filling it up the rest of the way. But yeah, just thought I would point that out in case anybody has any of these, or if you're thrifting and you find one, even without a lid, it's still really handy to use. It's just not, you can't really shake it, but like if you put your hand over, it kind of will serve the same purpose if you are deciding you want to shake something up. But yeah, I'll go ahead and finish this up. It looks like my 1 cup of soybeans then ended up turning into 12 ounces of tofu essentially. So I'm gonna go forward and I need to do another batch to see if it proves true again. It seems like I'm getting roughly 4 ounces of tofu per 1/3 cup of dry soybeans. So I will try next time to do 1 1/3 cups of soybeans and see if that makes a full 16-ounce block of tofu. I know too, just from the way that I make it personally, that 1 cup of dry soybeans will yield me about a 1/2 gallon, like a little under a 1/2 gallon of soy milk. So anyway, moving forward, I'll be able to kind of calculate how much of these items am I getting out of that 25-pound bag of organic soybeans I just got from Azure Standard, and kind of calculate like some cost savings. And yeah, and we haven't even gotten to the yogurt yet. Once I start making soy yogurt and we replace any store-bought yogurt with yogurt that we make at home, that's when we're going to start seeing the cost savings kind of skyrocket. Because I think of all of the things, the milk, the tofu, whatever, it's the yogurt that is always the most expensive. So that'll be pretty great. Anyway, so I'm excited. It's good to know. Oh my gosh, I actually forgot I did 2 trays. of the onions. I just found these looking at something else. It was on another spot in my freezer, so I'll get those bagged up as well. But seriously, this is such a great hack. Such a great hack to have on hand, already ready to go. Dinner is just going to be steamed broccoli. I have broccoli getting ready to steam over here. We're going to do a few grilled cheese sandwiches and then some tortilla pizzas. I've got the oven going. Basically, I made a block of mozzarella using the recipe from the 1 Hour Dairy-Free Cheese book. I have linked it many times. I'll link it down below for you guys. It's absolutely delicious. And so I made that for pizza on Friday night, and it doesn't stay good for, you know, super long time in the fridge. And so I figured dinner tonight, we'll go ahead and use this up. So yeah, we're going to do some grilled cheese on some of my bread. I haven't been talking about this a lot, but actually I completely ran out of my whole wheat flour, and I didn't buy any more because now I'm grinding my own flour. And so this bread is one of many experiments I've been doing, trying to find the perfect recipe for my my fresh ground flour. And so, yeah, it's definitely not very big or getting very much rise. There's a learning curve, right, to using your own grains. And so I'm still on that learning curve. And so anyway, I'm gonna make some grilled cheese sandwiches with this and some of that cheese. My son specifically wants the grilled cheese. And then Sage is interested in more pizza, but I did not feel like making another dough. And so I'm going to actually try, for the first time ever, I'm going to try making them on the Ezekiel tortillas. Apparently it can be good. So that's just kind of what we've got. This is leftover sauce from pizza night. And yeah, that's going to just be a very simple, hopefully super easy to throw together dinner for our Sunday. All right, bigger shreds are definitely working out better. The cheese is still really soft. I'm still figuring out how to work with it, but it's so good. The flavor is incredible. And so, yeah, this is truly a wonderful book. I've said before, one of my subscribers sent that book to me. I'm super appreciative of it. And I just love it. So yeah, this mozzarella is definitely amazing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get these into the pan. Oh yeah, so it was the cheese and then some little flecks of minced garlic in there. And we're just gonna get it into the pan.
This over just a little bit. There.
Very nice.
All right, you want to sprinkle your cheese on?
Yeah.
Spread it around. You just take a little bit and put it on.
Do you want some of the garlic on there too?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that will be a lot of fun. Adam had the idea to sort of just toast the tortilla first a little bit. We have the pizza stone in there. And then pull it out and flip it so that they're decorating what was the bottom in the oven. Just to hopefully have it be a little bit more toasty. And then the bottom will get toasted once this goes back in. Are you eating that pretend cheese?
Yeah.
Is it so good? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna go back in the oven and hopefully that turns out to be amazing. Good job, Sage. All right, first side got a little bit too hot, and that's fine. I had to turn the heat down. But these are basically ready. I always like to sprinkle just a tiny bit of extra salt on. I do cook them in just a little bit of avocado oil. They just need a little bit of oil, not a ton. But I know that they're done on the second side. And this is more for the fact that they're vegan. But I feel like I used to do this even when I was using like dairy cheese as well. Is I kind of use just the top bread and I sort of go to like pick it up. And if it's stuck, like it's lifting, then I know that that's melted. And it's melted inside. It's sticking together. So we have ourselves some grilled cheese. All right, let's see if the pizza's good. Wait, where are you going?
And then, let me try the pizza.
It's good. Good. That's the verdict.
That's actually really good. It's kind of chewy.
Cool. Well, awesome. Do you still want to do like a Pizza-Dilla, or do you want to just make a pizza now?
Yes.
Both. All right. 'Cause Adam and I suddenly got the idea that, like, because he said, like, I'll just make a quesadilla, and then it just hit me, like, why not a Pizza-Dilla? Like, put a little tomato sauce and then put some of the cheese on top and cook it like a quesadilla instead of worrying about, you know, the timing in the oven and all that. So I'm totally trying that. And then the grilled cheese sandwiches turned out really good. Elliot took 2 of those. But yeah, I'm going for Pizza-Dilla. And here's the inside of the Pizza-Dillas before we try to make them. This one will be mine because it has more of the cheese. This one will be Adam's because it has a little less. He's never been a fan of cheese, even dairy cheese. So he does not get as much cheese on or in any of his items. All right, it's Pizza-Dilla reaction time. Let's go ahead and see how this turned out.
Yep.
Pretty solid. It's amazing. Actually, I personally like that better than the pizza.
Yeah.
Do you think so? Okay. Anyway, as always, the Ezekiel tortillas themselves are a little chewy. If you're not used to them, that might be different, but I can't imagine that not being good with like a regular tortilla.
It would be different with a regular tortilla. I don't know if it would be quite as good. It's got some tooth to it.
Yeah, and well, we like that, so I guess it depends on what you like. But yeah, I guess we're gonna go ahead and continue to enjoy this. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off so that I can, oh, look at me, I'm like full of basil stuff. Sorry. Anyway, I'm gonna sign off so that I can go ahead and call my son, right? Our oldest son is across the country. He's in Washington, D.C. So we want to call him and talk to him for a while. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just say goodbye. And hopefully you enjoyed that. And as always, I hope the rest of your day is good and your life stays wonderful. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye. Bonus. Sorry, I definitely don't need to make the video any longer, but I just thought I would show what the okara looks like after being dehydrated overnight. And it definitely has the appearance and texture of something similar to a TVP. So I am really eager to try and see if it really like behaves that way in a recipe or if it will just completely fall apart. We'll see.